She's outside,
You
isn't
can
it?
put a different
Or it's
background.
a fake outside. Is she really outside?
Oh, it's like a background.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go mute too.
Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, we'll get started. Hi, everybody. This is pretty cool. Thanks for joining me. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Is it loud enough? Okay, okay, good. Well, welcome to Yin. My plan for today was to do a sequence for energy. So, I was worried about yin at the start of the day, then we're going to be really lazy. So, and we've probably been a little extra lazy as it is. I know I have. So this sequence it's still yin, but it's poses that will give you some kind of calmed energy so you can have some motivation and energy to go throughout your day and throughout your weekend. So that's what we'll be focusing on. You will need 2 blocks if you have them. If you don't have blocks, if you have like a little pillow, like from your couch or from your bed or something like that, it's for fish pose at the end where we put it underneath our shoulders. So if you have an idea of something else that might work for that, you can grab that. You shouldn't need anything else unless you like to have a blanket or anything. Of course, you can go ahead and grab that. But we will go ahead and get started. I'll start out today with a meditation. So just make sure you're comfortable, get in a comfortable seated position, and then start to close your eyes. You can have your hands on top of your knees. You can bring them to hands at heart center, just rest them in your lap because we will be here for just a little bit in our meditation. But closing your eyes and shutting out the outside noises, whatever else might be going on in your house, try to just shut that off. Maybe you can hear a bird outside, focus on that. Quieting your thoughts and relaxing your breath. Allowing this time for yourself. And then just start to notice your breath. Notice the breath as it enters the body. Notice the breath as it leaves the body. And then start to notice your energy flowing through your body. Notice if there's any places that seem stuck. And try to just breathe an extra breath of energy into those parts. Imagine the blood and the breath flowing evenly and freely through your body. And then think of something that you're grateful for. Could be someone, something. Maybe you could think of a couple things right off the bat. And then send loving thoughts of gratitude to that person or to that thing. And then bring your awareness back to the present moment, back to the room, back to your body. And then take a deep breath in, filling the ribs. Take as much air in as you can. You can probably even feel and see your ribs expanding. And then take a long, slow breath out through your mouth, feeling the breath in the back of your throat. So again, we're going to fill up the lungs and then breath out. Mouth is open for the breath. Again, take a deep breath in, and as you take your breath in, imagine you're breathing in new positive energy, and on the exhale, you're breathing out any negativity, any stagnant energy, anything that doesn't serve you. Do a few rounds of breath this way, inhaling nice and big, positive energy in, exhaling out, making the noise in the back of your throat. Anything that doesn't serve you coming out. Let's do one more round of breath this way. And then return to your natural breath. And then bring your hands to heart center. Take one more nice deep breath here. And then slowly start to open your eyes. Place your hands on top of your legs. Start to focus on the surroundings around you. And then we're going to get started. Our first pose today is going to be dangling. So we're going to actually kind of stand. So you don't have to stand all the way up. You can start with a squat, bending your knees, and then just start to stand up, straightening your legs, but your head's going to stay bent forward. You can keep your knees bent. And then you're going to grab opposite elbows and just let your head hang. Let your shoulders and neck relax. If you need to wiggle your legs out a little bit, you can do that. Feel the stretch in the back of your thighs. Make sure you're taking deep breaths. Try to keep your awareness with your breath, with your body. And you can release your elbows. Maybe let your hands dangle a little bit. And then bend your knees and place your hands on top of your thighs and just flatten your back, getting the blood to settle back through the rest of your body. And then next we're going to come into Malasana. You can have your block and sit on your block if you need to for that. So that's our squat. You don't need the block. You can set that aside. So you're going to take your feet kind of wide so that your elbows can fit inside. Your toes kind of go off like that. I can't really see my feet. And then you're going to press your elbows into your knees and bring your hands at heart center. Try to sit up as tall as you can, making your spine straight. We're opening up the hips. If this is really uncomfortable, you could just sit on the mat and you can do it that way. A couple of options for you. Here you could work on your 4-4 breath, inhaling for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds. Or it might be 5 or 6, just evening up the breath to give your mind something to focus on if you need it. One more breath here. Go ahead and release your hands. You can sit back on your mat. Maybe stretch your legs out. Do any movement here that you need to even the hips back up. And next we're going to come into cow face or shoelace, whatever you want to call it, for the legs. So we'll bring the right knee and point it like right towards the center, and then stack your left knee directly on top of that. You can sit in cross leg if that doesn't work for you. If you want to come into the full version of the pose, your feet are kind of in line with your knees, so kind of hard to see that. And then with our hands, with our arms, we're going to open up, so stretching the arms out into T. Good. And then we're going to bring the left arm underneath the right arm. So you can stop at your shoulders, or you can come into eagle arms, wrapping your arms around each other and bringing the palms together. And then bring your palms up closer towards your forehead. Feeling the opening here in your shoulders, in your hips. One more breath here. And then release. Shake that all out. Switch legs if you need to wiggle them out a little bit in between. And then we'll point the left knee. So the left knee will be on the bottom, right knee on top, or opposite of what you did before. And if you're in cross leg position, just switch the cross of your legs. And then when you're ready, stretching your arms open. And then bring the right arm underneath the left arm. You can stop at the shoulders or come into eagle arms, bringing the palms together and then bringing the palms up towards your forehead. Feeling that opening in the shoulders and in the hips. Keeping your mind focused on your breath. One more breath here. And then release. Shake that out. Again, maybe bringing your legs in front of you and wiggling them out. Sitting up tall. Next, we're going to come into deer pose. So we'll bring the right shin parallel, well, if your mat is sideways, it'll be parallel to the side of your mat, and then bringing your left shin, so it's going to the side. You guys know it pretty well, but legs are like, yes, you got it. Okay, so then a couple of options here. Also, if your knee, I don't know if anyone's having a problem, but if your knee doesn't bend back this way, you can just keep that leg straight or however it feels okay. So a couple of options. One would be to come forward. Another would be we'll twist to the side. You can have your block if you need it, if you're not going to be able to go quite all the way down. So we're going to twist open to the right and then start to walk forward. You can stay upright if that feels better, or start to walk your hands forward. You can come down onto your block. See? And place your head on the block. Or you can come down onto your elbows, or maybe make a forearm pillow. Breathing into that right hip. We're really getting our hips opened up this morning. If your mind is starting to wander, bring your mind to focusing on your 4-4 breath, noticing your body. And take one more breath here. And then slowly start to come back up, slowly walking your hands in. And turning back towards the center, pausing for a moment, let your hips kind of reset. And then we'll flip the legs around and do it on the other side. So now your left shin is in front, your right shin is going off to the side. Grab your block if you need it for the other side, if you'd like to place your forehead on the block. Remember, you can stay forward and just lean forward that way, or you can turn to the side. You can stay upright or start to walk forward. Stopping wherever you need to, be sure to listen to your body. Maybe doing things differently than it used to, that's okay. Nice deep breaths, and maybe going all the way down to a forearm pillow. Again, notice your jaw. If you're starting to clench your jaw, that relax. Just feel your body melting more and more into the mat, sinking deeper into the pose. And take one more deep breath here. Slowly start to lift your head, pressing back up. And when you're ready, turning back towards the center, pausing there for a moment, allowing your hips to settle back in. Again, we're going to come up onto the knees. And depending on which way you're facing, I'm going to turn back this way. We're going to come into puppy pose. So we're going to bring the hands. So you're up on your knees. There we go. Up on your knees. And then you're going to walk your hands out and then place your head on the mat. If your forehead doesn't quite go to the mat, you can place your forehead on a block. But we're really stretching the arms as much as you can out in front of you. So kind of like, almost like your like downward dog arms, kind of, because you're really stretching. So you're really getting a nice stretch through the shoulders and then trying to keep the knees right under your hips. Try to keep your elbows as straight as you're able to. Maybe even kind of press gently your index knuckle into the mat. You don't have to press really hard, but just to make sure your arms stay activated so you can get the full effect of this stretch up through the shoulders. And one more breath here. And then you can lift your head and walk your hands back in, just kind of underneath your shoulders. And next we're going to come into a child's pose. So just sitting back on your heels, stretching the arms out in front of you. Again, if your forehead doesn't comfortably go to the mat, you can place your forehead on a block or your pillow. Allow your hips to sink down more and more into the mat. Soften your facial features, relax your jaw. One more nice deep breath here. And then bring your arms down beside your legs. And allow your shoulders and your back to just melt over your legs. Just imagine your whole body turning into one big puddle, melting into the mat. And one more breath here. And then start to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, slowly rolling yourself up. And then we're going to come to laying on our side. Whichever side you go to is fine. I'm going to start out on the right side. And we're going to come into side seal pose. So this one, you can have your knees bent. Ideally, you want the legs straight. So if you want to place your blanket underneath your hips, if your floor is kind of hard, you can do that. And then we're just going to prop up on the elbow. So your hand's going to just come straight out. This hand can be here in front of you for support. If you need a little more support, you can place your hand on another block. So just stretching out the side. If you want to come all the way up, if you want more of a stretch, you could come up onto your hand so your hand's a little out from your shoulder, and you can straighten your elbow. So whatever you feel like you need here. Getting the ribs opened up, the side body stretched out. Probably start to notice you're even going to get a stretch into your hip. See if you can take some even deeper breaths, especially into that right side of the rib, allowing the ribs to open up even more. Do 2 more deep breaths into the ribs. And then you can bring yourself, maybe bend your knees, bring yourself back up to the center, and then we'll switch sides. Coming onto the left side or your other side if you did, depending on what side you did. And then again, the knees can be bent or straight out from your hips. You can be up on your elbow. You can have a block underneath your front hand if you need to, or for the most stretch, you can straighten that arm. Just whatever feels good to you. And then start taking those deep breaths into the ribs. Take 2 more deep breaths. Then we're going to lay on our back. So again, if you need your blanket to be comfortable, you can grab that. The rest of the poses will be done on our back. So just keeping that in mind. If you want to grab your props and readjust anything, go ahead and do that. So we're going to lay down on your back and then just hug your knees into your chest. You can have your knees together or you can separate them, whatever feels good here. Stretch the lower back. Maybe hug the knees in a little bit closer to get even more of a stretch once you've sunk into the pose a little bit. See if you can let your chest and your shoulders relax a little bit. You don't have to pull really tightly. Just let the hands kind of do the work. Just the weight of the hands and let the shoulders relax down to the mat. One more breath here. And then we're going to come into happy baby pose. So releasing your knees, opening them up away from each other. Bring your arms to the inside of your legs. Grab the outside of your feet. And then keeping the knees bent, bring the feet up as if they're standing on the ceiling. And then try to press your tailbone down into the mat. Again, allowing the hips to open up. Try to press your shoulders as close to the mat as you can as well. Almost done. We won't be here too long. And one more breath. And then release your feet. And just stretch both of your legs out long onto the mat. We stretch through your toes, and even take a full body stretch if you'd like. And then our next one might be a little interesting. It's called cat pulling its tail. So we're going to come onto our side and start out. You can prop up on your elbow. I think that will be easier, or you can go just laying on your arm. It's going to be like the full version of the pose, but we're going to try it this way first. So you're going to take your bottom leg, and take the foot, so you're bringing it up back towards your butt, and you're going to grab that foot. So you can stay there and keep this leg straight, going straight out from your hip, or you can bring the leg kind of out in front of you, and you can stay upright here. That's quite a bit of a stretch. If you want to take it farther, you can either lay down on your arm, or you're going to take your left hand and try to reach for, I have a pain in my foot so on this side, so I don't know if I can quite get there on this side for you, but grab your toe. You can stay with just that, or if you're grabbing your toe, I'm not, so I'm able to bring your right shoulder back. So your shoulders are almost flat on the mat, probably not all the way. So lots of versions. Don't feel like you have to go into this crazy one, but if you can, go for it. But take whatever version feels good to you today. You can even grab like the top of your thigh. That gets a good stretch too. Good, and then go ahead and release wherever you're grabbing onto. Bring the legs back together. If you want, you can lay on your back, just kind of even that out. Maybe shake your hips a little bit. And then we'll do it on the other side. I'm gonna flip around this way. So again, you can start out propping up on your elbow, or you can go right into laying with the arms straight out. I kind of like the propping up on the elbow. So you're gonna take your back foot, grab your back foot with your, for me it's my left hand, to your top hand, and then bring the top leg straight out in front of you. So you could stay with just that, or you can lay down, grab the toe, and then if you're grabbing your toe and you can use a little bit more, then try to bring the top shoulder back towards the mat more. Remember, if you're not reaching your toe, you can even place your hand on your thigh or your leg, wherever you can reach. It still gets a good stretch. Take one deep breath and then release. Again, you can come to your back. Maybe hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock side to side. And then next we're going to come into our supported fish pose. So this is where you'll need your blocks, or you can try it with like one of the little throw pillows or something if the blocks aren't normally comfortable for you. So normally I'll tell you to have your block this way, so the long way. But I have found if you, I don't know if we have any guys on here, or if your shoulders are just broader, you could try it this way. So if this just doesn't hit your shoulders right, try that way. Otherwise, we'll do the long way. And so you're gonna lay your upper shoulders, so come up here. We don't want it in the lower back, and you don't want it up into your neck. You're gonna lay your shoulders over the block, and you can have your other block or one of those pillows for your head. I normally like to come around and help you with this. I guess I can look on there. If you need help, you wanna make sure that you're doing it right. I'll try to look and see, but this is where we're going with it. So that see the block? Right underneath your shoulders. So it's not under here, it's not at my neck, so that your shoulders can just drop open and your chest is open. You don't have to have this block under your head if you don't want to. That'll just give you even more of an arch. Just allow your chest to open up, your shoulders to drop open. Your feet can be on the mat with the knees bent, your legs can be out straight, whatever feels comfortable to you. And then notice your lower back. If your lower back feels like it's really trying to arch, try to let that relax down. And if it's still doing that and it's uncomfortable and your legs are straight, if you bend your knees, that will take some of that out of there. You can also place your blanket underneath your hips if you need to. And as you're here, your chest is open, your heart is open. Imagine your body taking in positivity, taking in energy and motivation. Take 2 more breaths here. And then you can remove the block from your head. You can roll over onto one side, remove the block from under your shoulders. Next will be Shavasana. So if you'd like to stay in the position you were in with the blocks, you can. Otherwise, allow yourself time to get set up. Do whatever you need to be comfortable. If you want to turn on any music. And then when you're ready, come to laying on your back with your eyes closed. Quiet your thoughts and relax your breath. And allow your body to take in your yin practice. This is where it all comes together. And starting with the top of your head, imagine the tension melting out of your forehead, out of your jaw, and out of your neck. And imagine the tension melting out of your chest and shoulders, arms and hands. Imagine the tension melting out of your back, abdomen, hips, legs, and feet until your whole body is completely relaxed. You have nothing to do for the next few minutes but relax. Shavasana. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make some wrist circles, ankle circles. And let your head drop over to the left. And then over to the right. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side, pausing there for a moment. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to seated with your eyes closed. If you'd like, you can place your hands at heart center. And take a nice deep breath here. I'll leave you today with an affirmation. So you can repeat these sentences quietly in your head if you'd like. Today will be a positive day. I will be productive and energetic all day. Today is a gift, and I am blessed to be here. Thank you for your practice and your presence. Namaste.